Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday, August 20th, and I'm coming back to bring some more PCAPs. Guys, I'm going to just keep it real and show you the truth, and we ain't got to go through a whole lot because you already know. But Nick Moseduur came out and he wanted to say a few things, and I understand, Nick Moseduur, you want to say a few things, but the only reason that Nick Moseduur wants to say a few things is because a few people got with Nick Moseduur and said a few things to him. People are dropping it like it's hot on Nick Moseduur because they know he's a traitor. They know that he's caught. They know that Nick Moseduur will lie in order to cover up for other people or just stay silent, and it backfired on him. Nick, I know how the pain feels. I know it's hard, Nick, when everyone is looking at you, like when Professor Clements makes up something about me and you just leave it there and you go along to get along, right? Now, we know that I didn't show anybody's family, but you tried to sneak that into your complaint, Nick, because you know that you're in trouble. I'll read what he said. He said, um, let's see. Nick Moseduur says, sorry. I just got to interrupt it, y'all, in my um my pictures are moving now. Because people who want to get their problems solved and get their entities put in place to be able to function and live, they know that my stuff works and talks about it around the nation, but it's funny. So here's what Nick says. And I'm going to show y'all. This is Nick Moseduur right here. Right? That's his channel at the top. See that? Nick Moseduur. He says most of Patriots fighting election integrity are conflicted. Now, we got to ask a question. What does he mean when he says fighting? Because a lot of people are talking about election integrity. He's standing up for people like Professor Clements who talk about election integrity. But now we got to ask the question, Nick, PCAPs. Show us one group of people blaming Mr. Clements for getting any audit anywhere, but yet you wanted him to be the chief. So since you want to say that David Jose isn't doing anything and he hasn't helped, I need you to show, Nick, Professor Clements getting an audit. You also roll with Gail from day one and you were mad at me over her. She says she deals with audits. Show me one testimony of anybody saying she helped get an audit. Show me some PCAPs, Nick. He says, do we say something or do we ignore it? Well, dude, what are you talking about? You're dealing with me now and you want to see if we're going to ignore it. But when you dealt with Clements and you knew he was deep state, you ignored it. You knew something was wrong with him and you ignored it. But now you want to act like magically you give a freak about people and you want to talk about everything now. Because your anus is caught, Nick. Let's go deeper. I've actually received 2 phone calls already today asking, what do we do about this Dave Jose nonsense? If David Jose means nothing and David Jose is not a problem, why the freak do you need to do anything? You didn't need to do anything when Professor Clements was known to be deep state. You shut your freaking mouth and sat in a corner like the coward you are. So let's be real, Nick. Fine. Enough of this crap. But it wasn't enough when it came to Professor Clements, Nick. I'll be the one to say it. Oh, shucks. You'll be the one to say it when David Jose says something and corrects your bad behavior and you get your anus caught up and people mad at you now. You should have never brought your stupid junk in the first place. And you should have opened your mouth and told the truth when you had the chance, but you were a coward hiding to protect yourself. Let's go deeper. I draw the line now that he's doxing people's kids. Okay, here's the deal, y'all. I will pay $500 to the first person who could get Nick to come live and show where I dox somebody's kids. Nick is speaking of something that he doesn't have firsthand knowledge of. Too stupid to realize he don't know what he's saying. Too stupid to realize. Nick, I dare you. I will pay you $500, Nick, if you can show me doxing this clown Clements, your savior, the one you worship. Show me right? Because we already know the lie. We already proved it wrong. And the guy who made up the pictures and stuff showed who he was. So, Nick, we know you're lying. So, Nick, show me where I'm doxing somebody's kids. I'll give you $500. The first person who could come and show me that I doxed their kids, I'll give them $500. First person. Let's do this. And people are being sent out to harass. Nick, people ain't being sent out to harass. They seen that garbage you did, and they're not happy about it, Nick. Don't get mad. And belittle my wife. Nick, what the freak your wife got to do with this? She's not the one on video talking stupid. That's you. She's not the one hiding information from the people and knowing that these guys are dirty. That's you. You had the argument with Clemens. Don't bring your wife into this. Don't be that cowardly, Nick. Your wife ain't got nothing to do with this. You are the traitor. You are the one who knew and shut your freaking mouth. This is PCAPs for you, Nick. People are going to believe what they're going to believe. I can't control that. Well, you didn't give a freak about controlling it when you hit it for Professor Clemens, did you? But here's a fact for you. Really, here's a fact. There is no one causing division, infighting, confusion, doubt, and deflecting from our purpose more than David Jose. Well, bro, how is that the case when you were the one propping up somebody as a god who you knew was possibly deep state? Come on, Nick. Dude, my schooling is in psychology. I know the Bible. I understand wisdom. What you're saying doesn't match what the freak you did. Let's go deeper. There's no one making it harder to move on and focus on what's important more than David Jose. You are right that there's nobody making it harder to move on and making it uncomfortable for your anus than David Jose. But don't say to get the work done because you ain't trying to do the work, Nick. You're going to talk junk about me getting audits or affidavits and if they work or not. But Nick, can you show us where you got one audit? Can you show us remedy, Nick, that you gave? Or did you sit there and say, oh my God, I don't understand. It seems so bad and stuff is so drab and it's so dreadful. And it's like the nation is going to collapse and we're done for now. Nick, how many times did you not come with a solution and talk about how bad things were? So now, Nick, you have to be the judge if affidavits work, but you can't say you did anything that worked. Come on, Nick. If affidavits and notices do work, let's ask the 100 and something gyms and entities that are open right now, Nick. People who we had to go against the government to make them free. The 91 kids that are back, Nick. Come on, bro. The places where we did affidavits, Nick, are the only ones that got audits. Wisconsin. Amanda Chase, Nick, told y'all who got her to do affidavits and notices and got her attention. Why is she talking? Candace Taylor got government officials talking in Georgia. Where did that come from? It wasn't happening without notices or affidavit. See, Nick, you are poison and you guys are jealous of what really works. And Nick, you got to understand that affidavits and notices get things started, get things moving. And we tell people other things to do to continue to make the fight happen. But why is it, Nick, that only in places that did affidavits are there people calling for audits? Can you explain that to me? Can you explain it? Let's keep going. It is a shame. It is a DAM shame because this guy cares more about money and his ego. Really, Nick? But I taught everybody how to do affidavits for free. I did a Behizzi for affidavit or a notice for Behizzi for free. No money. I did it for Michigan for free, Georgia for free, Maine for free, Texas for free, Georgia for free, North Carolina for free, New York, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Come on, bro. Let's be real. All the affidavits for all the help for all the elections were free, but I care about money. But you guys were getting money for the news, Nick. You guys were sitting up there taking money for the news and doing super chats and all that stuff, Nick. So if you want to call me bad, Nick, what did you do for an audit or anybody else who's collecting money? Y'all did share news, and that's a powerful thing. I love that. But Nick, can you show me what y'all did to get an audit? Because I can't judge you on your news stuff. All I can say is news is good. I'm not going to hate on anybody's work. But Nick, when it comes to affidavits and notices and showing people the Constitution and talking to the government officials and the legislature and teaching them, Nick, I got them PCAPs, bro. I can show the legislative body members I teach around the country. I can show the people I teach, Nick, getting audits straight up. Me and Josh. We don't show some stuff so we can respect people and keep them safe because we're not haters, right? We understand that there's some people working like your people, right? That are playing games, Nick, acting like freaking clowns. But let's go deeper. He says, Guy cares more about money and his ego than working with others. It's funny that I worked with everybody and gave everybody what they wanted for free while his people were hating on me. Why doesn't he make a 4-hour sermon about what to do when my affidavits don't work? Well, Nick, can you show us affidavits you sent out, clown? What do you mean what to do when your affidavits don't work, Nick? Can you tell us what affidavits do when they do work? Can you tell us? Have you studied, Nick? Nick, there's people who have taken my affidavit courses and people who have not, who can tell you what happens after you send an affidavit and what you need to do to be effective. It's funny, Nick, that you're focused on what happens when it doesn't work, but it's the only thing that you can show as a common denominator in every state that got an audit, Nick. Can you show me? Nick, can you show me? What to do when my affidavits don't work rather than attacking people? Nick, who did I attack? Making up lies and defending his ego profit. Nick, are you mad that you want to say that stuff don't work that has been working? Nick, do you push populist revolt and the affidavits and notices that they got from me, and then when they decided to make their own, do you support that, Nick? Nick, when Professor Clemens got on stage and told everybody about affidavits and notices with Frank, did you support him? Come on, Nick, let's get that smoke. Unfortunately, many people in the grassroots camps have pulled me aside to tell me their affidavits have been ignored. New Hampshire, Michigan, Georgia. That's funny. They pulled you aside and said their affidavits got ignored in Michigan, Nick. But the affidavits, the 10,000 affidavit place is where DePerno, the guy who did the affidavit that came directly from me, now has an audit? How does that feel, Nick? Did you not get the news? Were you laid off? Let's go deeper. He says New Hampshire. Is that Maryland Todd, Nick? Or AJ Todd? Now, if you want to ask them if the affidavit didn't work right away, you may want to ask them if they sent out the affidavit when everybody else sent out theirs, or if they were waiting on somebody else and a mistake happened and they didn't send them out at the right time. And a lot of time went by, and then they realized, oh shucks, we should have did that. Then AJ Todd called me, and then AJ Todd turned in the affidavits late. But I wouldn't talk about that, Nick, if it weren't for you. I would just keep it quiet. But since they pull you over to the side and say, what about their affidavits? I got to just tell you what's really up. Ask AJ and Maryland Todd if that's the truth. You want to say Georgia. Candace Taylor came on video and said, hey, nobody was talking about affidavits until I audits until I served them. One of her people, a young gentleman, actually heard of the legislature coming together in his town, away from Candace, talking about what to do with these affidavits that came in and how to deal with it. And now there's talk of people getting prosecuted and going after each other, Nick. So why is it all this commotion and all this talk? Why is it all this commotion and talk in Michigan when nobody wanted to talk to Matt DePerno and the court cases were losing? If all the court cases lost, Nick, what would make them want to hear after the fact? Could it be the affidavits that were given, the 10,000 of them that got legislators to start talking to DePerno, and then other people started coming in? Yes, Nick, that's exactly what it was, etc. The ones that allegedly work can be attributed to other factors. Like what, Nick? Your own people who are mathematicians say that what is the probability that something happens in every state that's the same, and then a certain result happens, like a winning of election? Are you going to say the common denominator affidavits that happened in all the states that got audits had nothing to do with it? Starting in Arizona when there was nobody who wanted to do the work, Nick? Nobody wanted to come to work. They were off, out of session, and they came after numerous affidavits from me and Josh? Be for real, bro. Let's keep going. But this isn't about whether or not they work. Oh, it's not? So why did you do all that talk, Nick? You know they freaking work. This is about controlling narcissists who cloak his ego behind God and become akin to a cult leader. You just told us we need to follow a Mason, a freaking cult leader. Bro, be for real. David Jose makes 10,000 plus on his Save the Nation webinars and splits the profit share with Josh Barnett. These guys are professional grifters, and I feel sorry for Candace Taylor, who's a good person, that has been wrapped up in this. I wish her the best in her campaign in Georgia. First of all, Nick, the PMAs actually hold webinars, not me. So what I would like you to do, Nick, with your smart self, is come out and say that David Jose is doing webinars, and I'll show you how affidavits work. Put on a sworn affidavit. I'll give you the freaking template to put it on. I dare you to swear and say David Jose is making $10,000 plus profit on a freaking webinar. I dare you to say that, Nick. Say David Jose is making 10,000 plus and swear to it with a notary, and watch what I do to you. Just so you can see how I get down. Go ahead, Nick, and say it. You think it's bad for you now. Say it and swear to what you just said and watch what I do. Right? Let's keep going. I'm all for handling drama behind closed doors. No, you brought drama out into the public with your ignorance and your stupid talking about worshiping somebody who is not God and being his Indians while he's the chief. You screwed up by not telling people the freaking truth and by knowing yourself and not coming out and saying something. While you work with Gail Golick when you know she was doing wrong. When you work with other people when you knew it was wrong. And why don't you tell us about EOJ, homie? Let's keep going. I'm all for handling drama behind closed doors, but I'm drawing the line now. The people are calling me a traitor, because you are. And saying I have taken CCP money. I don't know if you did, but if you did, you're dirty. And deserve to be thrown in prison. You know information about what's going on with traitor type stuff, and yo ain't as hide it. You're a freaking clown for that. What the F is wrong with these guys? And rat. What's wrong with these guys is you do some shady stuff, Nick. You play games. You hide behind some garbage. You don't stand on what a man should stand on. And then when you get caught, you don't want to just be real and say, hey, I made a mistake. When Josh tells me, David, we need a notice or an affidavit for somebody in a different state and they're trying to fight, I say, you know what, bro? Okay, I get on it. If I get on it and I get busy and a lot of stuff is happening and I don't get it done, you know what I do? I go to Josh and I say, Josh, I am so freaking sorry, bro. Ask him. I am so sorry. I let you down. I messed up. I take full responsibility. I didn't get it done. I got it done the next day. Here it is. But please forgive me, bro. I'm so sorry because I said I would have it done yesterday. I make mistakes sometimes, Nick. Right? I don't always freaking keep up with everything the best, Nick. Sometimes I fall behind. Right? But I'm able to say, yo, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, man. I did do that. That's my error. I'll do better next time if the Lord should let me live. That's how real men take care of stuff, Nick. But Nick, go ahead and sign that affidavit and say what you said. And then we'll see if affidavits work. If you don't think affidavits work, Nick, do it. You a bad boy. I want to see. But anyway, Nick, you're a freaking clown, bro, and you know it. And you want to continue to be an emotional baby. You want to say that I'm causing division, but why won't you just say, hey, what I said on those messages that David Jose showed is what the freak I said. I'll tell you, whatever I say. I'll tell you, Nick, you're a freaking clown. To your face. If you had an AK-47, I would tell you, you're a freaking clown. Nick, I tell Clemens, on live video, you're a freaking clown, and school him in the law in front of everybody. I'm not running from clowns, Nick. I'm not soft like that. I'm just telling you, here's more PCAST for you. An analysis on what Nick says and how Nick does. Nick ain't really trying to be real. Nick is being soft once again. So, Nick, you can start your rant and you can end your rant, but you ain't real, bro. You off that fake stuff. So I hope you enjoy your day, Nick, because everybody know what you are. You're a clown, you're soft, and you don't stand up for the nation. And if you want to hate on what happened with affidavits, Nick, there's too many people who've been watching who sees what happened with affidavits. They probably jumping on your head already because they know what's up. But that's you not being a leader, Nick. You're being a soft follower because you got this idea from Cashel and Clemens that affidavits mean nothing. But the truth is, Nick, it means a whole lot. And it's been winning and having victory. And them notice has been going across the nation, shaking it up, baby. So you can hate if you want to, but the truth is the truth. Peace!